Hello everyone, welcome back to Saddle Up Shooting. I'm Dave Strohmeyer, your host. I hope I have a good video for you today because I'm going to be shooting two of my premium rifles using premium bullets in my hand loads at 100 yards and testing one against the other. So let's take a look. Bergara BMP España versus Seekins Havoc Hit, good old US of A. Let's get shooting. Okay, up on the bench first I have my Bergara BMP, which stands for Bergara Match Precision Rifle. It weighs just a little under 13 pounds. It is a hunting rifle and I have hunted with it. I've got a 6x24x50 scope on here, an O-Hunt scope, which happens to be one of my favorites. Alright, so the first bullet I'll be shooting is the 130 grain Swift Scirocco 2. Now, this bullet is renowned for what it can do on an animal as well as shooting a little bit more long distance. 6.5 Creedmoor and 130 grain is perfect for long range deer. I'll give you the specs on this bullet a little bit later, but this has never been shot. These are my hand loads, never been shot in this rifle. So you're going to see brand new. And it hasn't been shot in the other rifle, the Seekins, which is coming up. But let's see how well they group. Target set up at 100 yards. Let me go turn on the camera down there, turn on the Rangecraft, Athlon Rangecraft, and let's get going. Okay, here we go with the Swift Scirocco 2 to 130 grains, 6.5 Creedmoor, Bergara BMP. Eyes on, ears on, Rangecraft is on, camera's on. .28-31, cold bore, clean bore shot, and it looks to be pretty close to the bullseye. So let's see what happens now. .28-76. That one sure went left. But it looks like 2 in 1 hole. I don't know. .28-81. Now what I have on the box for the rifle that I sighted these in for was a speed of 29.10. So .28-81, what is that, 30 feet per second difference? Alright. Alright, so let me go reset. Now we're going to shoot the next bullet. Be right back. Okay, the next bullet up will be the 140 grain Federal Fusion. These are my hand loads. Now the Federal Fusion bullet is close to the Spear Gold Dot, but according to both Spear and Federal, they're not the same. But it is a chemically bonded bullet to bond the jacket to the lead core, so it's impossible for it to have jacket separation. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the best bullet made for the average hunter. All right, so according to the box, I'm only using 41 grains of H4350. I've loaded that down because I have 4 6.5 Creedmoors, and this was loaded down so it would shoot the same in all 4. So let's go ahead and shoot at that target on the right. Camera's on, Rangecraft is reset. Let's see what happens here as far as group is concerned. Now remember, I haven't necessarily sighted this rifle in for this bullet, so we'll just see how it shoots. Creedmoor is awful forgiving, and that's why I like them. That looks to the left, 2770. So in this rifle, that's 60 feet per second faster than what's on the box. That's what I meant by loading it down. No two rifles are alike. Each needs to have their own load, but sometimes I get lazy. Let's see how it groups. That appears to be about 1 inch. And see, that went down to 2711. From 2770 to 2711. That's, again, this bullet is not made for this rifle, but we're given an even shake across the board so that you can see the comparison. Those last two are only a ½ inch apart, so again, cold bore and then warm. And that's 2767. Okay, well, that'll kill a deer. Obviously I would move the scope, right? Alright, let's go ahead and mark those targets and get the Seekins out. Let's see how it does. Okay. Up on the bench is my Seekins Precision Havoc Hit. I bought it on auction, used. It's I paid about half price of retail. It's a good shooter, but I only have about maybe 30 to 40 rounds through it, and I've never shot these 2 bullets in this rifle. So this is going to be really interesting. So first up is the Swift Scirocco 2, 130 grain. Camera's on. Rangecraft is on. This rifle also weighs just shy of 14.5 pounds, so it's almost 2 pounds heavier than the BMP. But that's because of the barrel. It's a real beefy barrel that Seekins does on their Havoc Hits. Probably designed for competition. But I wouldn't... well, I did take it out in the field for rock chucks, and it shot real good. Okay. Let's get the parallax right. Yeah, it looks about correct. All right. .2872, so a little bit faster than the BMP, I expect. But we'll go over that at the end. 2846. This Seekins has a really nice trigger. Set it right about 2.5 pounds, so it's a little bit nicer trigger than the Bergara. I think they used either the Timony or the Trigger Tech, one of the two. Again, I have a full workup on this if you want to go back on my playlist for the Seekins Havoc Hit. Alright, let's find the target there. .2841. So that's about even with the Bergara. Okay, I'll go mark that target, then let's move on to the Federal Fusions. Be right back. Okay, now up the 140 grain Federal Fusion. The Swift Scirocco 2 obviously shot really well. Has a little bit higher ballistic coefficient, a little bit more speed for a little bit longer distance, but both of them are bonded bullets, so you can shoot from 50 out to, you know, whatever your range limit is. Mine's under 400 yards, and both of these bullets will do really well, you know, at 1 inch high, dead on at 200, at 400, probably a 6 to 8 inch drop is all. All right, here we go with the 140s. All right, target on the right, the same one that I shot with the BMP. Looks like both of them are shooting right in the same neighborhood. Isn't that wonderful? That's the Creedmoor for you. .27-485 on that shot. All right, third and final shot. I don't know, I can't see very well because of the other bullet holes, but I think they're all right together there. You can see it better than I can. All right, a little bit of sweat in my eye here. All right, 27-23. So I'll mark this, these speeds and SDs and everything on the target when we get back to the barn and analyze those targets. All right, well, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go, the two targets. Over here is the Bergara and the Seekins with the 6.5 Creedmoor shooting the 130 grain Swift Scirocco 2. All right, so what's interesting here, 2863, 2853, pretty close, but the SD was quite a bit off. But anyway, let's go ahead and measure. All right, so the first one there was the BMP. Let's see what that is. .621. Okay, then the Seekins, let's see what that is. 0.665. Okay, well, that's kind of a tie then, isn't it? All right. Then over here with the 140 grain Federal Fusion. Okay, the first 3 shots there with the BMP. Interesting. 2750, 2739, a high SD again, a low SD again. Don't know why that is, but probably has something to do with the barrel. But let's go ahead and measure the BMP here first. 1.049, and then let's measure the Seekins. I think that's it right there. .565, folks. Well, there you go. So did one win over the other? Well, yeah, the Seekins was a little bit more consistent because I'll give it the lower SDs and a little bit tighter groups. Even though this was a tie, this one obviously wasn't. Okay, folks, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Check your subscriptions, please. But no matter what, as always, may God bless you all. See you again next time. Goodbye.